Pope Francis, the leader of the Catholic Church, made Kenya his first stop during his maiden tour to Africa, while in Nairobi he celebrated Mass with hundreds of thousands of faithfuls. Take a look. The papal visit to Kenya on the 25th to 27th of November marked, among other things, the contribution of the Church to the economy.
The Church has been a strong partner in the social and economic development of Kenya throughout our modern history. Through its diocese in Kenya, the Church is our largest non-state provider of healthcare, with nearly 500 healthcare units and over 50 community-based orphanages and programs for vulnerable children. The Church has served us equally well in education. The selfless work of the earliest missionaries left us the basis for the wide network of Catholic schools, and today, Kenya now boasts over 8,000 primary and secondary schools, 5 colleges, and a fully fledged university identified with the Church.
Pope Francis addressed dignitaries, clerics, invited guests, and the Kenyan citizens. His speeches were dominated by calls to shun ethnicity and engage in reconciliation.
Experience shows that violence, conflict, and terrorism feed on fear, mistrust, and despair born of poverty and frustration. Ultimately, the struggle against these enemies of peace, of prosperity, must be carried on by men and women who fearlessly believe in and bear honest witness to the great spiritual and political values which inspired the birth of the nation.
The Pope also celebrated Mass with Catholic faithful in Nairobi and took time to visit a slum in the outskirts of the city. Another notable event during the visit was his address to the Kenyan youth. Pope Francis did not shy away from addressing recruitment of youth into terrorism, an exercise that has kept security authorities on toes in East Africa.
¿Qué podemos hacer para hacerlos volver?
What can we do after they have been recruited to try and get them to come back?
Para responder esto tenemos que saber por qué un joven lleno de ilusiones se deja reclutar o va a buscar ser reclutado.
To answer this, we have to ask, why do young people who are full of ideals allow themselves to be radicalized in this way?
Y se aparta de su familia,
Their family,
de sus amigos,
their friends,
de su tribu,
they leave their tribe,
de su patria.
they leave their country.
Se aparta de la vida porque aprende a matar.
They leave their lives behind in order to learn how to kill.
Pope urged Kenyans, and especially political leaders, to stay away from corruption.
La corrupción es algo que se nos mete adentro.
Corruption is something which eats inside.
Es como el azúcar.
It's like sugar,
Es dulce.
sweet.
Nos gusta.
We like it.
Es fácil.
It's easy.
Y después terminamos mal.
And then we end up in a poor way.
Y en vez de tanta azúcar fácil, terminamos diabéticos o nuestro país termina diabético.
So much sugar that we either end up being diabetic or our country ends up being diabetic.
He also spoke on tribalism and its devastating effects on economies.
Si ustedes hablan bien entre ustedes, se sonríen,
If you
se
speak,
acercan como hermanos,
if you speak well among yourselves, then you can smile and then you can accept each other as
Si
brothers and
ustedes
sisters.
están cerca uno de otro, aunque sean de diversas tribus,
If you're close to each other, even if you're from different tribes,
y si ustedes se acercan a los que necesitan, al que está pobre, al enfermo, al abandonado, al anciano a quien nadie visita,
if you're closest to the poor, to those that are abandoned, those who are ill, those who are completely rejected that no one needs,
esos gestos de comunicación son más contagiosos que cualquier red de televisión.
those gestures of communication are much more contagious than any channel on TV.
Concluded his Kenyan tour, Pope Francis headed to Uganda and the Central African Republic, where he concentrated on bridging ethnic and religious divisions.